Louisiana Creoles are not like other Black Americans, because even though their roots include African ancestry.
All right, I'm gonna stop you right there. And the reason that I'm gonna stop you is, for one, my face was used in this video. So I wanna give a disclaimer that, yes, my face is in this video, but that don't mean I agree with this video. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with this video. It's because I wanna give whoever made the video the benefit of the doubt. But I think this hit a nerve in everybody that saw it that needs to be addressed. The first thing is kind of like how the media portrays Brazil and the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, all these Latin places. That's the feel I get as I watch this video. You don't get Monsieur Benguinet in this video. You don't get the ladies that were interviewed in Louisiana Creole, whose first language is Louisiana Creole. You don't get so many beautiful people who don't fit the broad perception of Creole that we have. And I believe, and a lot of other people will agree with me on this, that the elephant in the room is skin color, right? It's almost like nowadays they paint Christ not as blonde hair, blue eyes, but still not too dark, right? It's the same way with Louisiana Creoles. It's this feel of not too dark, right? And I don't agree with that. Because if you don't know, Louisiana Creole it's not a skin color. You have white Louisiana Creoles, quote unquote white Louisiana Creoles. You have quote unquote black Louisiana Creoles. All Creole mean is that your people come from colonial French Louisiana. That's all that means. Louisiana Creole is nothing but a French version of being Hispanic. That's like saying Hispanics are not like all other blacks. Well, no, they're not, because they Hispanic. That's a different classification, right? So let me break this down, what I mean, so don't nobody misunderstand me. You have people in England who are English people. That's an English person. In America, we are not English people. We are English speakers, but we are not English people. We are Americans, right? Now, you have French people in France who are French-speaking people. And then you have in Louisiana, French-speaking people who are not French, but they come from a colonial French background. Those are Louisiana Creole people. Just like Spanish people live in Spain, but people who live in Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic, they are not Spanish people. They are people who come from a Spanish colonial background. So if you know anything about history, if you are a European colonial person, that doesn't mean that you are white. That doesn't mean that you are black. That doesn't mean that you are, if you come from a European colonial background, that doesn't designate a look. What that designates is a history. So you can be a Hispanic person and be 100% African DNA. You can be a Hispanic person and have red hair and blue eyes or green eyes, right? You can be a Louisiana Creole person and not have any European ancestry at all. You can be a Louisiana Creole person and not have any African ancestry at all. We gotta cut this out. And the people who made this video, maybe they didn't even mean it like that, but I think it's time to speak up on this. Louisiana Creole is an ethnicity. What an ethnicity is a shared culture and background of a people. So, Hispanic people are Hispanic, right? Garifunas are Hispanic people. Dominicans are Hispanic people. Brazilians are Latin people. But respectively, you still have a different background with each person. So if we are not careful, we will perpetuate this misinformation that Brazil, that all these other Latin American countries have given us because they want to be anything but black. And they want their country to be, or their people to be represented by the commercial, people-friendly representative. Not too dark, not too light, exotic, right? Being Louisiana Creole, I'm going to quote a brother on this, being Louisiana Creole does not make you some exotic Negro. And it's funny because the brother who quoted this, he wasn't mentioned in the video, but he's a prominent person in the Louisiana Creole community. Being Louisiana Creole does not make you some exotic Negro, right? Being Louisiana Creole does not make you different from other black Americans in some, well, y'all are just this and we are that. That's not what that is. That's not what that is at all. Being Louisiana Creole means that you come from a place that was colonized by French people. That was colonized by French people and everything else that came with that. Well, what do you mean by that, Joe? What you mean by that? Because it's not just the colonization, because everything... No. What I mean by that was the rules for colonization was different. In America, one drop, you black. It didn't necessarily work like that in France or with the French, right? You had different classifications with stuff. What that shows us is that this concept of being black and white is created because in every colony you have a different conception of what black is. Some people say they're not black and they mean that no, I'm not black, I'm this, like, and they ignore their African background. Other people say they're not black and they just mean they're not American black. But what I would say is this, for this video, for it to say Louisiana Creoles are not like other black Americans, that is a half-truth. And it's a half-truth because the way that Louisiana Creoles are not like other black Americans is just that the French skinned their cat different than the Americans and the English did. Where it's not true is to say that black Americans do not have European, Amerindian, and African ancestry is just utter nonsense. It's foolishness. And it implies this exoticness about being Louisiana Creole. The funny thing is, a lot of people I've seen try to shame people with, oh, they not Louisiana Creole, oh, they Louisiana Creole. My grandpa got blue eyes. My uncle had red hair growing up. I remember asking my grandma if my uncles and them went to a black school or a white school. But those people never questioned who they were. It was just a part of their story. So what that means is they never said, oh, we not black, we Creole, right? Nah, we black. We black. Oh, yeah, we just come from Louisiana. And that's simply what the case is.